Now, there are many, and I repeat, many dumb diet mistakes that you need to avoid if you want to lose weight. I could probably create a 2-3+ hour video just on all the ridiculously dumb diet mistakes.
Wow, you really are stupid, huh?
But today I've got 2 diet mistakes that you definitely need to avoid if you want to lose weight. So if you're making these diet mistakes, you need to stop making them ASAP, meaning right after this video, now that you know that these diet mistakes are dumb, stop them. Or if you're not making these diet mistakes, now you can know about them so you can avoid making them. So the first really dumb diet mistake is not eating breakfast or not eating enough for breakfast. Now, I'm not one of those people that necessarily believes that breakfast is the most important meal of the day. However, if you're trying to lose weight and nothing's happening and you don't eat breakfast, it can be a really important meal, and here's why. Have you ever noticed that on the days that you don't eat breakfast, that you're hungrier? Like, I can't be the only one that has gone through this. And what normally happens when you're hungry? You tend to want to overeat, or you tend to overeat. And not only do you tend to overeat, but you have cravings, which leads you to overeat the wrong things. I mean, I used to never be a breakfast eater. And what I noticed was I would go all day without eating. And then when I finally did eat, I would be super hungry. And not only would I be super hungry, which would lead to me overeating, but it would lead to me having cravings, which would lead to me overeating the wrong things. So I had a harder time being more disciplined with my diet, and I had a harder time controlling my appetite. This is normally what happens with most people when they don't eat breakfast or they don't eat enough for breakfast. Matter of fact, my client Lindsay here was having the same problem where she wasn't eating breakfast, she wasn't losing weight, and I was able to help her lose 10 pounds over a 6-week period just by getting her to start eating breakfast and teaching her what things to eat for breakfast. So if you're not a breakfast eater like I wasn't, or Lindsay, my client, wasn't, and you're trying to lose weight, here's what I want you to do. Now, the first thing I want you to do is I want you to start off small. You wouldn't want to go from not eating breakfast at all to having a full course meal for breakfast. That would be stupid, so don't do that. However, what I would recommend you do is, let's say you have a banana with 1 or 2 eggs, or you have some oatmeal with some other source of protein, or you have a protein shake or a protein bar. So the key to making breakfast part of your weight loss strategy is you want to make sure that you're having some source of protein with your breakfast. And there's 2 main reasons why. The first reason is that you've just gone 6 or more hours without eating. So your body is more likely to be what's called catabolic. And this simply means that your body is likely to break down muscle protein and use that for energy, which is what you don't want. So that's the first reason why it's important for you to add protein into this meal. The second reason is that protein is more satiating than any of the other macronutrients, more satiating than carbs and more satiating than fat. So what's going to happen is, by eating more protein with your breakfast, you're going to be full for a longer period of time, which is going to cause you or prevent you from overeating. So the second of the dumbest diet mistakes that you need to avoid if you want to lose weight is you're not eating enough protein. Now, I feel like I've been talking a lot about protein lately, but it's really important, especially if you're trying to burn fat, if you're trying to lose weight, or if you're trying to build muscle. Really, protein is important regardless of what your fitness goals are. It's probably the most important macronutrient there is. Matter of fact, my client Isabel here, I was able to help her lose 12 pounds over 12 weeks just by getting her to eat more protein and teaching her exactly the amount of protein that she should eat that I'm going to teach you now. So the recommended dietary allowance for protein, or RDA, is 0.8 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight, or 0.36 grams per pound. However, that recommendation is only to avoid deficiencies. So if you do anything other than just sitting around and doing nothing, if you exercise, if you're a physically active individual, if you have a physically active job, that recommendation is basically useless. So if you're serious about reaching your fitness goals, I want you to start looking at protein as damage control. And what I mean by that is, whether you realize it or not, when you work out, your goal is to damage the muscle. Now, you know that soreness that you feel after you work out? That is the damage that I'm referring to. And that damage is a good thing if you can supply your body with the right nutrients, because if you give your body enough protein, what's going to happen is your body is going to utilize that protein to rebuild that damaged muscle, which is going to make that muscle stronger than it was before. Now, you probably heard the recommendation of taking in 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. In my opinion, I think that this is a really good number to start at. Matter of fact, I think that most people will never need to consume more protein than this. Now, you might be thinking, well, eating 1 gram per pound is going to be difficult.
This is so hard.
And this is a great place for supplements, because supplements will allow you to be able to take in the necessary amount of protein without feeling like you're overfeeding yourself.